How do you enter this work of art? How do you begin to make sense of it?
You cast your own shadow, as you can sort of see, into the image. So I think in a way we're supposed to be part of it. You know, our silhouettes against the wall play off the silhouettes that Walker's famous for. These other drawings and cutouts pasted directly on the wall of these figures constructed of black paper, but also seemingly black. And I find that really interesting. There's a kind of rickety quality, but it seems very strong. And I think of that as, you know, like my grandfather's tools or my grandfather's old shed. You know, you feel like it's tipping over, but it's really pretty sturdy. I talked a little bit about how she's less a historian than someone who's a historian of fantasy. You know, she's not trying to portray history, she's trying to portray the history of fantasies, some of which are dark and disturbing. But it also, I love the title. I think the title, "It's Still Gotta Tie Us Together," is really integral to the piece, because what could be seen as just rags or the flag and shreds, he's sort of playing with. He's sort of saying, these are things that bind us. I think there's something to be said about the ties, and we were talking earlier about the ties that bind. Mostly it's a study in color and form. And it's kind of playing with abstraction, which at the time he was painting in the 50s was sort of dominant. He's made it work, and there's something about that that I really find part of the folk tradition and part of what I love about, say, the blues, which is, you know, it has blurred notes, it has things that in other hands may seem like off notes even, but it makes them harmonize and in fact creates a new kind of harmony. It's narrative like a still life is narrative. You wonder what happened beforehand, you wonder what happened after, but we're really getting this moment in time. And even the title of this, "They Was Nice White Folks While They Lasted," refers to this sort of event beforehand. Well, what happened? You know, what didn't last? And in a way, it's slavery that didn't last, but then also there's a kind of insurrectionary quality to both the images and sort of the narrative we might create. There's an implicit kind of body politic or larger American body being tied together and I suppose wrestled over a little.
In your essay about Carol Walker, you commented that the narrative is kind of what we choose to find in it, or how much we ourselves dare to enter the world of this image.
This is obviously a still life, but there's also a kind of inner life. You know, there's a lot of detritus of the world, but you know, there's a kind of shoring it up of it. You know, it's
being held together.
Yeah, the artist's job is to notice and to say. Then it doesn't always have to be, I notice injustice. It can sometimes be, I notice strange beauty or color and form. You know, I don't think it's making one statement, I think it's making lots of different ones.